Well, hello everybody again, and welcome to a new video. This is something a little bit different for my channel. What I thought we'd do is we're currently looking at 1930s McMichael 137 radio. It's a smallish console radio on the, I think they would call it on a Queen Anne leg stand. The radio lifts off, and that you bought the stand separately. But as you can see, this is what I would class as a barn find radio. It's been stored for many years. I think it's believed to be stored for at least 50 years. And the idea of this video is I thought we'd take the whole process through. I'd show you it as it now, and we'd try and restore it back to working. Unfortunately, I think, looking at it, my apologies, it's quite windy out today, so I hope there's not too much noise. Looking at the top, this is just of the cabinet, there's been some slight water damage there. I think it was by a window that probably dripped in, and obviously the sun has done some damage sort of just there on the corner. But other than that, I think, you know, the cabinet will need a total. I'm not a great fan of totally restripping cabinets, you know, because I think you do lose so much. But I think in this case it's going to have to be done. But that'll be in another part to this video. What we'll do to start with is we'll try and restore the chassis. It's quite a nice radio. I have a McMichael 135 and the 365 radiogram as well, which are all loosely based around these sets are all very similar in design and the chassis. And as I say, it's quite an attractive set. As you can see, the tuning dial does still work, it does still go around, which is always a plus. And inside there again, I don't know whether I would refinish that. It's, you know, it has certainly got a lot of cracking there, and over time. But I thought it'd make a good project to do. As you can see, this is as found condition. So if we come around to the back and just take the back off for a moment, we can get it off. Well, there, I think there you can see the state of affairs in the back here. Obviously. It's there's probably even a mouse nest in there somewhere. Yes, there's lots of cobwebs, and as I say, this radio hasn't been touched for at least 50 years. So the first thing we'll do, obviously, I'll clear a space in the workshop, and we'll take it in there and get the chassis out and have a look and see what we think to it. And theoretically, the radio should be able to be brought back to working without too many problems, I hope. I do have a lot of McMichael spare parts if we need them along the way, but I thought it'd make for an interesting video. It'll be done my way. You might not agree with how I restore radios, which is fine, you know, comment if you don't. And I must add here, I'm purely an amateur. I'm not, you know, a professional radio restorer. This is a hobby I've done for many years. I met some very clever and interesting people through this hobby who know an awful lot more about it than me, who have taught me some great tips on restoring old radios. So I thought it'd make for an interesting video, you know, if I brought you along and we had the chassis out on the bench and try to get this thing back working. So this is just a little preliminary look at the set. As you can see, this radio hasn't, as far as I know, it hasn't worked, you know, for at least 50 years. The history of the set is, I believe, it came from, it's not local to me, it came from a large house in the Liverpool area, and I acquired it. Somebody gave this set to me, and I've had it 3 or 4 years now. It's been dry stored. I've just had a cloth over it, and it's been stored in the corner of my workshop, basically with other radios on top. Yes, so there's I've had it in the workshop for many years, and there is slight evidence, whether you can see that where my finger is, there's slight evidence there of one or two woodworm holes this side as well. So obviously when I do the cabinet, that will be treated. I can't see any more, and one would have thought that they would have, you know, one hopes they're very old, where it's been stored there is no woodworm, so one hopes that is all there is. You know, I can't see any. It would be interesting to see when I take the bottom off and see what's there. But so that's it, yeah. That's the first look anyway, and as I say, we'll get it in the workshop and get the chassis out the cabinet, and just basically give it a good clean to start with, and take it from there onwards. As you can see, I mean, I don't think it's happened in my time, but there could have even been evidence of mice living in there at some time. There's certainly an awful lot of cobwebs and spiders, or deceased spiders and cobwebs. But so yeah, as I say, I'll clear a space and we'll get it in, and then we'll remove the chassis from the cabinet and see what it looks like. We'll be back soon.